Back here in the studio, I have with me Mr. Matt Chipman. He's the editor-in-chief of the Green Baron Report. Matt, always good to see you.
Glad to be here again, Don.
Well, we probably have to change everything we were going to talk about, you know, in the wake of what the Supreme Court did with Obamacare. But like we said before going on the air, this has almost become a November referendum.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess it's going to galvanize both parties even further than where they already were. There is going to be a lot of analysis and talk about how this all played out over the next few weeks. Yep. Whether you're on one side of the fence or other, you know, we have to always remember where we are right now with our debt burdens and Europe's debt burdens and how we're going to handle that. Whatever the case may be, I just hope that we're not setting ourselves up for more debt.
Here's the way I look at it. I think the biggest beneficiary of this Supreme Court decision are going to be those companies and those people who sell political advertising. Because I think the money is going to flow into these political action committees, into these candidates like we've never seen in the history of our country.
Well, there's an idea right there for some stock ideas. You know, the communications companies, I noticed Verizon just made a new high, you know, Time Warner. You've got some really, you know, even though the market is challenged and their stocks are generally right now are kind of pulling back and we've had some really tough markets, there's new stock highs made every day.
Every day.
So you just got to be in the right ones.
Well, let's talk about that, because you and I tend to concentrate on the small cap companies, emerging growth companies, companies that have, you know, the next big idea, the next new technology. What sectors have you been looking at lately that really get your attention?
Well, it's funny that people, you know, associate us with green energy or green companies, you know, and it turns out because of the Green Baron Report, right? And originally we wanted to make it all about trying to make people money, but if we're going to go in that sector, we have had a few companies that we find extremely interesting. I mean, one company has a proprietary way to capture CO2 and convert it to chemicals that actually are used in society, and this technology is now being used, or the progress to evaluating this technology they've actually tied themselves to some of the biggest companies in the world. So it's ideas like that that to us are tremendous, because you know what, it's either going to make huge money or it's going to fall on its face, you know, and that's what I think. The reason people buy low price stocks is because of the potential rewards. It's risk money, but you get big returns.
Well, you know, we started this program 16 years ago, and back in those days, every company that came on the program was .com this or .com that, and that was really, you know, the internet was such a boom in the late 90s, because thousands and thousands of new companies were being created that were basically creating millions of new jobs. And that's a reason I think that the economy boomed in the late 90s to that degree, all this new commerce coming to fruition. I've always said that green technology is a fledgling example of what the internet was 15 years ago, and you know, we're going to see companies that go bust, just like we saw the .com era go bust, but there are those that are going to make it.
I agree. If you're going to take, you know, and the problem I had in the .com era was, you know, people did make ridiculous amounts of money on the way up, but look what happened to them in the end. Exactly. You know, a lot of them never made it, and most of them that were trading at those high levels back in 1999, 2000 are now still trading at lower prices than they ever even thought about reaching then. So yeah, we're continuing to scour the markets to look for the best ideas. I think that's what differentiates us from the rest of the newsletters that you get in your email box, is you'll get different ideas from us. You don't just get the same old promoted companies that everybody else is doing. We're actually looking at companies, and you'll find ideas that you won't find anywhere else. And that's what we think we're different.
Well, you know, I probably get 600 emails a day, spam emails that are promoting this stock or promoting that stock, and they're always saying the same thing. This is going to go up 1,100%. This is going to get bought out by this major company, and it's all a bunch of malarkey. I mean, you know, we don't make any predictions on this program. You know, when you make a stock pick, you have a certain set of criteria that you're following. It's all about credibility.
Well, we also just don't put out an idea, especially the Green Baron-based research, our stock alerts and stock picks. We just don't stick them out there and then we disappear a week later.
Right.
Typically, we stick with them for a long period of time. Today, we had a release out on a company that we picked as our stock pick of the year last year. And they actually came through and did what we said that they were going to do. Now, they did it way late. We thought it was going to happen 9 months ago, but it happened today. Wow. Had that news been announced 9 months ago, the stock probably would have doubled. Now, It's going up, but slowly. But now it's more than ever. We think it represents a great opportunity for investors.
Tell us quickly how they can get in touch with you.
Go to thegreenbaron.com and make sure you put in The Green Baron, and then click any join icon and just give us your email address. You can stop at any time and look for our new stock pick that's coming out on July 9th. That's a week from this coming Monday.
Okay, great. Matt Chipman, The Green Baron Report. Always a pleasure. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Don.